All right, you bet. Thank you, Johnny. And we got a really great program here tonight. I was telling Johnny and Dr. Henry here just a little bit ago. Come to this sale probably 4 times at this point throughout the spring and fall. I've been on the association for about 2 years, and I told Johnny this is probably the best set of bulls that I've seen put together here at this sale. So buy with confidence tomorrow. There's a lot of really great bulls to go out and look at. But I know Johnny's a big thing, and one of the things that Johnny and I talk about quite a bit is the ability of these rangus and these ultra cattle to go out and perform not only just as cows in the pasture, but also in the feedlot as well. Whenever we talk about rangus, whenever you think about rangus, typically you think about really good cows, highly fertile, early maturing, early to cycle, and things like that. But for a long time, it really was a decision. Am I going to invest in the quality of my cow herd or my cow base, or am I going to invest in the terminal value of these cattle? And that was a decision that you had to make. But we knew that based off of some of these modern rangus, anecdotal evidence from breeders like Johnny that have been retaining ownership of these feeder cattle for quite some time, and was reporting back some very high quality breeds, some very high yielding cattle, that we knew that those Old Testaments just simply weren't true. And so as an association, we put together an initiative that we called the Rangus Value Project to go out and test this. And essentially what we did is just identified 17 of our most high-use rangus and ultra black cattle to date, with the most amount of registrations ever remain. We weren't picked out, picked to win a carcass or a feed-out contest or anything like that. Just solely based on the number of registrations ever remain. Bred them to just common commercial cows in Texas and Oklahoma. Purchased all the steer calves off of them and sent them up to a Southwest Kansas feed yard where they competed against some of the very best feed cattle in the entire world. Killed them in a commercial meat packing facility, collecting grade data off of those calves, and going to the feed yard. Again, we're competing against some of the highest quality cattle out there today in Southwest Kansas there. And we compared all the data off of our rangus calves to what we call the Southwest Kansas average. So these are the cattle that entered the feed yard about the same time, about the same way ours did. They went through the same hardships, blizzards, heat waves, everything else that our cattle went through. And our rangus calves gained 3.9 pounds per day, average daily gain, and beat that Southwest Kansas average by about 0.8 pounds a day. So almost a full pound extra per day compared to those Kansas cattle. Converted at 6.2 pounds feed per pound a day. You'll see some pretty similar results here on Johnny's feed out data as well, getting past around. That's a really high conversion rate, and that'll be good enough to beat the Southwest Kansas average there again. About 3 years worth of data by about 0.3 pounds a day. So, our 0.3 pounds of feed to a pound a day. There. That's pretty easy math. More pounds on less feed. Almost a whole extra pound of gain per day, eating a third pound less feed per pound of gain. If you extrapolate that out across an entire feeding period, if our calves are in the feed yard about the same time as what the Southwest Kansas average cattle did, and finished at the same exact weight, and shot about 40 days off that feeding period. So that's pretty significant. But not only are those cattle really efficient in the feed yard, they run the packing plant. They rated 90% choice and higher, with about 50% of those cattle meeting every qualification for certified Angus beef as well. So we're really happy about that. Like I said, this is just a testament to some of these modern rangus cattle and their ability to go out and not only be really good cows in the pasture, or the best cows to ever grass in the beef industry, but as well go in the feed yard and perform there as well. You combine that with an extra bit of survivability on some of these feeder calves, as well as an extra shot in the arms, head-on game there. We've got a winning foundation. That's about all I've got. Dr. Henry.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kyle. And one thing that I want to say is how much I appreciate how an organization like IPDA going out and actually doing the research to be able to bring you the data to show you what these genetics have really done, the genetics of this cattle, what they have the possibility of doing. And the data that John has here from cattle that were fed in one of the sheets, these cattle were fed in Canadian, Texas, and one of them were fed up in Kansas. And you look at it, and it's just outstanding data. One thing I want to note about what Kyle was mentioning, this experiment they did, the trial they ran, those were rangus bulls going on commercial cows. So a lot of those cows might have some Angus, English base tool, which typically we think of as a higher quality grade or land. But these calves, these steers that John was feeding, these are Brangus on Brangus. These are straight Brangus steers that are being fed to these feedlots, performing nearly 90% choice or up, 5% prime on some of the heifers, I believe. It's a really outstanding set of calves that are coming out of this operation. Now, you may be sitting there thinking to yourself, well, I really don't send any calves to the feedlot. And most producers don't, right? Most producers aren't going to be retaining ownership and sending those calves to the feedlot and actually seeing what those calves do in the end. But I believe if you talk to folks like Mike over here, he's going to tell you that if you build a relationship with, even if you're not going to the feedlot, and correct me if I'm wrong, you build a relationship with someone that's buying your calves, and those calves are consistently performing at or above what the average is doing, they're going to come back and they're going to want to pay an extra dollar for that calf. They're going to want to pay an extra penny. Yeah, so like I said, you put them on an auction like Superior, and they're grading, they're killing like these cattle that John has on these sheets. That same buyer is going to come back and want to buy those cattle every time. Most of my work is in the feedlot. I'm a nutritionist for those types of operations. And what those guys are telling me is, my job is easy. What's the hard part is keep the cattle alive. And Caldwell and I were talking about it earlier. That survivability that you get from having that little ear with those cattle makes a world of difference. One of my yards in Bowie, they had a group of about 700 head in about 3 weeks. 700 head killed at that time. And out of that same 700 head, they lost 2 calves. And those were the Brangus type cattle that came in the Brangus bulls. We had some, in that same yard, a bunch of native, I'll call it native type, crossbred cattle, very little ear, mostly Angus type. And the death rate is just, it's a higher. We've bred a lot of hardiness out of those English type cattle, and we can use the hemolysis that's coming from the wilderness breed to deal with that type cattle. Kyle mentioned it, talking about the efficiency. We know that there's we're going to get a greater efficiency out of these Brangus type cattle than our English type cattle. We're going to feed them better, we're going to feed them quicker, and that's going to shorten those days on feed, which in the end reduces your cost of gain. And again, I know most of you are feeding your own cattle, but if you start building a relationship with the people that are feeding your cattle, the people that you're selling to, I tell you, you can work with these calves and get a little extra money off the table instead of living. But I think that's all. Oh, one thing I didn't want to mention too. Right now, sorry, I was about to. On the sheet that's got the Kansas data on it, I want you to notice that the average yield of those calves is 2.8, I believe. And if you look at where we're at in the industry right now, today there's about 25% of the calves that we're killing are yield rate 4 or 5. The reason is there's not as many calves going to the feedlot, we're feeding them longer, we're getting a lot, we're trying to get more beef out of that water, and so you look at what else, a lot of discounts that are these brands, bulls, and so on. They got the type of cattle, what they're holding to reduce on being able to gain some of those, gain some premiums and not just not having discounts.
our thresholds for terminal index and IMF. And bulls are meet that requirement for top 30% terminal index and IMF if you use their one-day top dollar Angus stamp there and gain access to top dollar Angus's network of feed yards and order buyers. And again, just open up some markets for Angus owners for place it. Important point here, he sells quite a bit of calves on the square as well, some top dollar Angus calves, I'm sure a handful of them, and since those calves earn an extra $8 per head of premium as well. To get that designation. And just put the good cattle, what we know we do cattle, we feed cattle, and we feed our field. So again, Angus has recently been accepted into those ranks as well. As a lead and qualified for that. So if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer those questions as well.
The last thing that I want to mention is, if you go out and look at these moves, a lot of people such a see the great spot. A lot of times moves get over the finish, get back and stop, get on the move for our race, get back to the middle. You look at these moves, they're ready to go out home. Right color, the normal season moves and so they're ready to sell, they're ready to go out to pasture, they're ready to do their job. Anybody has any questions about how we develop these moves, what our goals are, I'd be glad to visit with y'all, but with that, I will
Thank you very much. Let's give these gentlemen a round of applause. Thank you for being a little community for this